Hey Squids, this is Squeevy here, back from a long time, and I just want to say I'm sorry for the long hiatus. I've been in college and it's been very time consuming, so I just had to get my first semester done. I did well, and I can keep going forward. So, today we're going to be looking at Jaro similarities. That's the idea of comparing two strings and seeing how equal to each other they are, and you can use this to do spell checking. So, basically, we're going to make a spell checker. Alright, so the first thing we notice about our Jaro similarities is this equation. So you can say, alright, the similarity of J is equal to either this or this. So if m is 0, and m is the amount of matches. So that's the amount of characters in each string that are the same. So it counts that. So the amount of matches is 0. So that's 0. And if it's not 0, if it's greater than 0, then you complete this formula where S1 and S2 are the lengths of the two strings, and T is the transposition factor, or the amount of matches divided by 2. So I have my code here on a gist, and unlike the previous times where we coded it in Lisp, we are doing this in Node.js JavaScript. So eventually you can make your own and then port it over into JavaScript. I definitely think Jaro similarities is more prevalent to do it, or it's better to do it in Node.js because it's more useful in web development than in just Lisp. So the first thing we need to do is, as always, npm init. And going into this, you should know a few concepts. You should know big O notation. Well, you should know big O notation, and you should know what a hash map is. So with that being said, we're going to do npm install, or actually -- save hash map. So you're going to run that, and it's going to save it into the JSON package. So just give it a second to run, and there we go. So now we are ready to go. So let's go over subline text2, and I'm going to make a thing, and I'm going to save it as jaro.js. So I think the first thing we should do is make it so that we can reference this in another file, because that's important if you want to make a library. So we're going to have correct. This should be showing up as, yeah, there we go, okay. And sorry, exports dot data is equal to method, and this just makes it so you can call it in another class somewhere. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to calculate m. So let's go off and let's calculate m. So I have the code written down in a gist. I'll actually put the gist in a link below. So we're going to start off with var matching is equal to a function. Now we are going to have two strings that pass in. We're going to have a template string and an input string. So the template string is just a general thing you read from the dictionary, or your dictionary, which is defined in an array. One of my computer science teachers just rubbed off on me. I'm sorry. He used to call it array. Mr. Sozy, if you're watching, I'm sorry. And I probably shouldn't have said his name either. I'm really bad at the YouTube. Matches is equal to 0. So that's the amount of, so we're going to start off saying, okay, so the amount of matches we have, the amount of characters that match is 0 between the two strings. So now what we need to do is we need to have two for loops with a quadratic big O. So I typically like avoiding giant big O's like quadratic, but I could find no other way, and they're coding in a recursive function would just take too much time. So I is less than template.length I++, and down here we're going to have, now I tried recording this a minute ago and I ran into an error where I forgot to do that, and I got an infinite loop and it was bugging me. It took me so long to find it, just hiding there in plain sight. And I got mostly done with the program actually. It was just about to work and then that happened. It was just like, oh, that sucks. That really sucks. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to say if template dot character at I is equal to, or sorry, equal to. Node.js standards say you do 3 equal tos. Input dot char at j. You're going to do matches plus plus. And then once you're done with this, you're just going to go here and return matches. And this should theoretically speaking. Let me just make sure everything seems to be up to snuff. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go here and we're going to make it so we can call it in another file. So template and input. So we're going to test it out real quick. So return matching template and input. So we're going to create a new file called test.js. We're going to have a var Jaro is going to be equal to require /jaro.js. Okay, and then it's as simple as console.log matching. Oh, sorry. Oh, my bad. Jaro.data.correct hello and help. I don't know how case sensitive it is, and if it's not case sensitive, we'll add something in later. So now we have this, and let's go and see if it works by doing node test.js. We have 0 matches, which means we did something wrong somewhere. Matches plus plus. Okay, so why don't we try one thing? That shouldn't fix anything. It did not. Alright, so this is important. We can now go off and console.log template.caret. So let's see if it actually finds it, and if it's a problem just trying to do general stuff. Okay, so it's not finding it. That's the problem. And there were similarities. There should be at least 2 there. Now maybe this is a problem. Nope. And okay, so let's do console.log template.charat I and input.charat j. So let's see if what we get there. Ah, so the problem is that it's not even running. Sorry about that. Alright, well, let's just go here and let's do console.log matching help, and let's just do that. Let's see what we get. Okay, so yeah, the problem is when it does this, it doesn't seem to be getting to this step. Let me just do that real quick. So that's a bit strange, I'd say, that it's not even going here. Well, let's see if it goes here. Okay, so it that's a bit peculiar. Ah, okay. Yes, so it is there, but then it doesn't get into this area, and this is why. There we go, okay. So we can get rid of this. And we can get rid of this too. My bad. Should have caught that. Okay. So now how many similarities do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 similarities. You see these 2 L's, there's an L here. So it's double counting. That may be a bit of a problem. Is it a problem? Let me see. It really does stretch the definition of what you mean by a match. So what we could do, you could use stacks, but I don't think it's going to corrupt our data all that much. I think it should be fine for now, and If it's not, in a later version of the GIST, I will add in something that does that. So yeah, actually in the later, so for now I'm going to do it like this, but later on I'm going to put some stuff in the GIST that makes it a bit better, a little more accurate. But so far it shouldn't corrupt the results. That's been my experience. So let me go here and just get rid of this. So it works, it does what it's supposed to do, or at least for the most part. And of course I'll go into the GIST pretty much directly after uploading this video, or while it's uploading, and just fix that. And it won't drastically change what we do. I'll just put a little notification in the description. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is determine how similar they are, now that we have that. So, and actually, before we forget, let me just make sure, yeah, okay, we installed that. I forgot if we installed that or not. Let's just input the hash map, just so we don't forget. Equals require hash map. Okay, so now let's find the similarities between the two strings. I'm just going to call it sim is equal to function template and input. Okay, so now what we're going to have is we are going to have a so we need to have two variables. Variable s1 is going to be equal to the template.length, while variable s2 is equal to input.length. And if you go here, you can see that we put in s1 and s2, and if you recall from simple algebra, it doesn't matter what order you put it in. Whoops. Oh. Let me just make that a little cleaner, and yeah, dandy. Okay, so now that we have that in, we want to find the amount of matches. So let me just log onto my phone so I can see it. Okay. Yep, and it's as simple as just going var, I'm just going to call it match is equal to matching template and input. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to have if, so what we need to do is we need to do the first section of our bracket. If matches is less than or equal to 0, you just return 0. You don't count it at all. So, because if you remember from here, you say if m is equal to 0, you return 0. So that's what we did here. And you have to do it before you go on to do the other stuff, otherwise you're going to have null in there at some point. So then we have to have the transposition factor. And I'm just going to call it transpos is equal to match divided by 2. If you recall from the earlier explanation, the transposition is the matches divided by 2. Okay, and now we just literally plug it into our formula. So we do var similar is going to be equal to 0.33333. Let's get it super accurate. Times match divided by S1 plus match divided by S2 plus match minus transpos divided by match. And I forgot you have to put all this into a bracket as well, as you're going to get a result that you don't want, because you're going to multiply this and this and then keep adding. There we go, so we have that now, and the rest is just as simple as return. Return similar. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to go down here, and I'm just going to say return, so it's going to be sim, and let's do this. Let's see what we get. Matches is not defined. Oops, did I call it matches? My bad. Okay, there we go. So that is the similarity between that is the Jaro similarity of those two strings. But let's not stop there. Let me just quickly make sure I'm still recording, and I am still recording. So let's not stop there. Let's go a little further and make use of our hash map by making a spell checker. So var search, which is going to search through our dictionary and compare it to our input. So var search is equal to function dictionary. Did I spell that right? Dictionary, yeah. And input. Okay, so let's put that in, and we're going to have var sims is going to be equal to new hash map, and you'll see why we're going to use a hash map later on. Var ref is equal to this, and this is the reference. So let me explain what we're going to do. So we're going to put all our values of strings from our dictionary into a hash map with the similarities, and we're going to put all these similarities raw into a reference, because we need to find the one word with the greatest similarity out of all the words to our incorrectly spelled input word. So let's go ahead and start, and we're going to just quickly loop through our entire dictionary. So vars, and remember, the dictionary is an array. Again, you can modify this code a little to make it a you get it. you get it. You can modify the code a little to make it like JSON data or port it over from somewhere. And I++. And just to be case sensitive, we're going to have var template is going to be equal to dictionary dot to lower case, and then we're going to have var similar number is going to be equal to, let's just call it Jaro number. Actually, Jaro number is going to be equal to sim template and input. Yep, template and the input of what we got. Okay, so then once you have that, what we're going to do is we're going to have sims dot set, and then you're going to put in the template and the input. So then, my bad, Jaro number and template. That's what I meant to say. So basically what you're doing is you're going to pair up all the Jaro numbers with the templates, with the hash map. And then we're just also going to do ref dot push Jaro number. And then out of the for loop, once that's all done, you're going to do var correct number is going to be equal to math dot max dot apply. So you're going to find the max of the greatest number in that list, null and the reference array. And then after that, you're going to actually, to make it more, you can change this later if you want to just return something so that you could use it later. And in fact, yeah, why don't we just, I'll put this into the GitHub too. Return sims.get correct number. And let me just quickly, here we go. Sims.get correct number. There we go. So now we have all this done, and we have to go down here, and we have to make this be search, which I think, oof. Okay. Search dictionary. Okay, so we're going to go to test.js, and we're going to go here. We need to create a dictionary. So var dictionary. And we're going to put in some words. We're going to say hello how are you? Okay. This dictionary can be as expansive as you want. You know, I could put a fancy word in there like ignoble. Learned that the other day. And malodorous. That is misspelled too. Oh, I think that's fine. Malodorous. Yep. So you can put in some fancy words there. And then you can go here and you can do this dot correct. And instead here you have the dictionary and help, and you can do did you mean plus that, just basic stuff there. And we're gonna say whoa, who, whoa, there. Okay. That should actually have an almost complete match to this one, but okay. So when we go test that one out, I'm almost confident it's not going to work. Yeah. The two lowercase, this is not a function. Oh, why did I fuck up there? Hold up. Let me just find out where I got two lowercase. Ah, that's why. I accidentally said under search the entire thing. I just meant to say the one element, the whole thing. Did you mean how? Oops, we gotta go here and do this. So now what we've done is we've used Jaro similarities to make a spell checker. We can do malodorous. You know, really misspell it, really butcher, and you can see. Did you mean malodorous? So you can see it spell checks. It looks for what's incorrect and it spell checks it. So I'm gonna do a quick recap of these. So okay, what you do is you have to find the similarities between the two words. You do that by looping through every character in the two strings, and you compare them to see if they match. If they match, you add one value to the match variable, and then you return that variable. You have a hash map. Whoops, I am way out of whack. Okay, then you have similarities where you basically just find the length of the two variables, the matching input. You say if it is equal to 0, you just return 0. Otherwise, you find the transposition value, which is the matches over 2, and you plug it into the golden formula, and then you return that. And then you have to search through the entire dictionary, and you have to compare them all together. And that is how you make a spell checker in Node.js using the Jaro similarity method. And in another video for artificial intelligence, I will go into other types of things you can do, like other methods of doing spell checking and similarities. Okay, guys, I'm gonna put I actually that is trippy and I don't like it. So I've posted a I've posted a little what do you call it? Discord. I have a Discord. I'm gonna put it in the description. It's for science and stuff. It's really radical. I hope you guys will like it. And yes, thank you for watching. I'm so sorry it's been a long time, and I love you all. Adios.